Suella Braverman was clinging to her job as Home Secretary amid fevered speculation that Rishi Sunak could reshuffle his top team on Monday. The Prime Minister has faced growing calls to sack Mrs. Braverman for stoking tensions ahead of Armistice Day on Saturday in an unauthorized newspaper article. The Home Secretary attempted to ease tensions and save her job through a statement on Sunday night. Mrs. Braverman condemned anti-Semitic chants and placards at Saturday's pro-Palestinian march and called for further action. The under-fire Home Secretary said, "The sick, inflammatory and, in some cases, clearly criminal chants, placards and paraphernalia openly on display at the march mark a new low. Anti-Semitism and other forms of racism together with the valorizing of terrorism on such a scale is deeply troubling. This can't go on. Week by week, the streets of London are being polluted by hate, violence, and anti-Semitism. Members of the public are being mobbed and intimidated. Jewish people in particular feel threatened. Further action is necessary." In her first public comment since violent scenes in London on Saturday, the Home Secretary said on X, "Our brave police officers deserve the thanks of every decent citizen for their professionalism in the face of violence and aggression from protesters and counter-protesters in London on Saturday. That multiple officers were injured doing their duty is an outrage." The Home Secretary, 43, has been accused of inflaming tensions after she branded pro-Palestinian protesters hate marchers, and accused the police of bias for letting the rally go ahead on Remembrance Weekend. Defense Secretary Grant Shapps failed to back Mrs. Braverman's survival as Home Secretary for another 7 days during an interview on Sunday. He said, "A week's a long time in politics," when asked whether his cabinet colleague will stay in her role next weekend.